Hi everyone, welcome to new tutorial on SQL model with MySQL database in Python. SQL model is a Python library that combines SQLAlchemy's ORM with Pydantic's data validation. That makes the work easier with database in Python. It has lots of key features. It has unified model approach, which means one class serves as both your database schema and your data validator. It has type annotation, which actually use Python's type hint for clarity and editor support. It has built-in validation. We can ensure our data is clean before it hits the database. You can consider this SQL model as a thin layer on top of Pydantic and SQLAlchemy that is carefully designed to be compatible with both. As soon as SQL model is installed in your virtual environment, by default, these packages are installed. If you talk about its license term, that is absolutely free to use. It comes under MIT license, which means that we can use this tool in commercial project as well. Okay, so let's set up a new project for SQL model and see how we can perform a database operation with MySQL database in Python. I have a Visual Studio instance open on my machine. I have also created a new folder for this project. I'm going to create a virtual environment for this project. Click on Command Plate, click Python Create Environment, just select VENV option, select your interpreter, and it will create a virtual environment for your project, right? If you need to see which packages are installed in this virtual environment, you can just click on Open in Integrated Terminal by selecting .venv environment and just type pip list. You can see that we have only one package by default in this virtual environment. Now let's install two packages in this virtual environment. I have command handy. We are installing two packages. One is SQL model, other is MySQL because we wanted to connect with MySQL database in our local environment. Let's run the previous command again to check all packages in the virtual environment. You will notice that we have SQLAlchemy that is installed by default. We have Pydantic and then we have PyMySQL packages as well. So our virtual environment is ready. Now I'm gonna show you MySQL Workbench where we are going to connect. Okay, there is a employee database. Here we are going to create a new table first with the help of SQL model in Python program. I am going to create a new file in this project which will connect with MySQL database. I'm taking database.py as a name of this file. I have some code handy to save some time. We have SQL model that we have just installed. It has create engine. We need to use this method to handle @ in our password. Okay. So this create engine method connects to our MySQL database. Okay, so this is a dialect. Here we have username. This is the password of my username and this is the address of our server name. Okay, this is a port that we are running with. This is the database name. And then we have created a method where we are using SQL model.metadata.create all. This actually create all tables automatically based on your model definition. Now let's move forward by defining a model. I'm gonna take models.py, another new Python file. I have some code handy to save some time. Here we are using typing module. We need optional type. So this customer class showcases SQL model's unified approach. It combines data validation, database mapping, and type hints in a single definition. Type hints means whenever we are going to take a new object for this type, so you will get field's name easily on your type hints. So this means that same class serves as a Pydantic model for data validation and SQLAlchemy ORM's model that maps to a database table and structure with type hints for better IDE support. And setting table equals to true says to map this class to a database table. So each attribute acts as a both a Pydantic field with validation and database columns that ensures consistency between the application logic and the database. Type annotation plays an important role over here. If you look at this field ID, this is defined as optional, which means that you can pass null in this field in the database table. We have name field that has type of str, which means it's a mandatory field. It will also create index in the backend of this database table. We have email that is again a str type. It would be a mandatory field. We have mobile field that is optional and by default it will store value as none. I'm gonna create a new file, create tables.py. I have some code handy to save some time. Here we are importing customer type that we have created in models.py. We have database module and from here we are importing this method. Okay, and this method we are executing in our main method of this file. So what will happen as soon as this function gets executed in the Python file, my customer table will be created against the database. I have saved all files. I just need to execute command python create tables.py. Okay. As soon as this file gets executed, you will get a message database tables created. And refresh the tables, you will see new customers table in your database. And we have all the fields which we have defined over here in this models.py. Okay, str got converted into varchar. So it has created tables with columns that match the model's attribute. These attribute, okay, including their type and constraints. And if you notice that SQL model, this SQL model automatically converts the Python type to appropriate MySQL type as well, right? This str has been converted into where. So let's see how to add data in your MySQL database table. I'm going to create a new file again at customers.py. I have some code handy to save some more time. We are using SQL model and then we are importing a session method. Database module we have taken from our file. We are using engine. The engine is defined here. And then we have taken our type, customers type, that is our map Python object with our database table. Okay, we have defined a function that will actually create sample customers information, right? If you notice over here, we are providing mobile for only one record for John, but we are not providing mobile for customer. In the model, we have this mobile as a optional value. And then we are creating a context manager and we are passing our engine from database module. This engine with MySQL database connection string. Okay, and then we are looping through on this list customer object, and then in the session we are adding this object. Okay, so one by one all these customers will be added to session, and finally your records will be committed against the database. If you are not using this statement, then your changes are not going to save permanently into the database. And after that, we are looping through all our record with newly created primary key. And then we have called this add data in this condition. Okay. Whenever we will execute this file, it will create two customers record into our customers database table. Type python add customers.py. So you see that two records are created, which has primary key as 1 and 2. If you check your database table, you will be able to see these both record. One of the record has no mobile information. Now let's check how to query these records from database table. I'm going to create another file in the same project. Okay, query customers. Okay, here I'm gonna put some code snippet to save for time. We are importing SQL module. We are taking session and we are taking select method. Okay, from our database module, we have taken engine, which is our connection string of MySQL database. We have taken our customer model as well because we are going to get some data from this table. Okay, in the query customers method, We have opened a context manager with session method. Here we have passed engine and then we created a statement for selecting customers this time. Okay, this statement we are passing into session.execute method and then we are returning all the row from this customers table. So you will get a customers type iterable object. Here we can easily find our fields which we want to display, right? This is the type hint support that we are getting in Visual Studio Code IDE. Okay, all fields we will getting from our intelligence support. Okay, like this. And finally, we will call this function into this condition. We have saved the file Python query customers.py. Okay, we are getting both rows on our console. You can also filter out your data with the help of where method. And we will be using customers.name equals to John. Okay, so you will get only those records where customer name equals to John. Okay, I have saved the file, run the command again. You will get only single record. If I pass a wrong condition or wrong filter, I'm not going to get any of the record. You see, we got nothing. You can also sort your result with the help of order by function. I can use order by on my customer dot name. Save the file, execute the file again. You will get both record with sorted manner. Okay, because we have applied order by on name, so we will get this record first, Anthony. Anytime you may need to get only single record. So single record can be fetched with help of first method, right? Okay, so I'm taking this as first customer and this first method. Instead of all, I'm taking first, which means that it will only pick the first record from the table. Okay, then we have printed the customer ID from this object, name, email, and mobile. Save the file, run the file again. You will get only first record. It is taking time. We have got the first record. We can also use session.get method to get a single record from primary key. Okay, I'm using .get method where we have passed customers type and we are going to pick the ID number 2. Okay, then we will print customer by ID.id, name, email, and mobile. Save the file. You will get customer by ID, that is 2, name Anthony. All right. Now that we have retrieved the data, let's update existing records, right? I'm gonna create a new file, update customers.py. I have some code handy to save some more time. So this is the code. We are taking SQL model module, session, and then select method. Okay, from our local module database, we are taking agent that will connect with MySQL database, and we are taking our customers type. We are taking a new method for updating our customers. We are taking context manager, we are passing agent, and then we are creating a statement where customer ID equals to 1. Okay, it will get the first record. So before update, we are saying that email ID was this. Then we are setting a new value for this record, this email ID. Okay, and then again we are adding the same customer object to our session.add method, and then we will save our changes permanently for this session. Okay, and then we are going to get this updated data again from this database table. Okay, we are finding John, and then we will find its updated email ID, with help of first method. All right, and this method we will call into this condition, which will check that if name is main. So this is a very simple program which actually updates existing customer record where ID equals to 1. Okay, let me call Python update customers.py. Name is room customers.py. We have not saved the file yet. I have saved the file now. Run the command again. Yeah, you get that before updating the data, the email ID was john@test, right? Now the new email ID is john.updated. We check the database. You will get john@updated.com. Now I'm gonna perform one more operation that will delete few records from this customer table. Okay, I'm going to create one more file, delete customers.py. Okay, I have some code handy to save some time. Again, we are taking SQL model module, session, and then select a method. We have local module database from where we are taking engine object, right? That will connect to our MySQL database. We are taking model and then we are importing customers type. We have created deleted customers method with help of context manager. We have opened the connection and then we have select the customer first, right? All the records. We are checking how many records are there in this table. Okay, then we will print that these are the total number of records in this table. Okay, then we are trying to find out the ID number 2. Now it will check this object. If this object has something, then it will say that we have got the ID which we are going to delete. Okay, with help of session.delete method, we will pass our object and then we will save the data permanently. Okay, and then we are going to get the data again and then we are going to find the total number of records after deleting. Okay, and this is how it will iterate all the record. And this delete customers method we are using in if condition that will actually check at the runtime that this program actually running from the main module. Okay, I have saved the file. It's called python delete customers.py. Okay, which means that ID number 2 will be deleted from the database. Yep. So we have total customers before deletion. There were 2. We have got the record which we need to delete and delete operation performed successfully. Then we found the total count again. Okay, and this is the remaining customer. John by John updated.com. If you refresh the database, if you select the rows from the table again, you will get only one record. Row number second is no more in the table. Okay. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something what is very crucial being a developer. Okay. So hit a like button and give me the comment down below of a video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.